even faster and more reliable, as well as significantly safer. The outlines still reveal its Soviet past, but inside it's a completely different machine. Ukrainian engineers have conducted a profound modernization of the morally outdated BTR-60. As a result, today, it looks like this. Now it is a modern light armored vehicle of the Ukrainian armed forces called Khorunzhyi. The Ukrainian army has already officially adopted it into service. How is it better than its predecessor? What tasks is this vehicle now capable of performing? In what modifications will it be produced? And how many such BTRs will our army see? This will be discussed today in Arsenal. Despite the fact that Khorunzhyi is officially a modernization of the existing BTR-60, in essence, engineers had to create an entirely new vehicle, as the outdated solutions of Soviet designers clearly do not fit the conditions of today's warfare. And replacing any element each time led to changes in other parts of the vehicle.
In the production of the BTR Khorunzhyi, all tactical and technical characteristics are responsibly utilized, which allows us to say that this vehicle meets NATO standards.
The main task that was successfully addressed is the significant increase in the level of protection for both the crew and the vehicle itself. After all, the BTR-60 gained a bad reputation among the military precisely for its low armor protection. During numerous conflicts where it was involved, especially in Afghanistan, it turned out that the armored personnel carrier could be penetrated by a regular rifle, and in the event of hitting a mine, the crew inside had virtually no chance of survival. Incidentally, it was precisely because of this that the Soviet tradition of riding on the armor was born, as it gave the soldiers at least some chance to survive.
We redesigned the floor and partially the bottom of the vehicle and essentially created a multi-layered floor, which, in combination with the installation of anti-mine seats, provided the vehicle with a quite decent level of mine protection.
Decent means guaranteed protection against explosions of up to 6 kilograms of TNT directly under the soldiers. Engineers also worked on the side armor of the BTR Khorunzhyi. They were able to provide additional protection without increasing the weight. The secret is simple. The body of the armored personnel carrier is now made not from Russian, but from high-quality Finnish steel.
Simply because since the development and the production of the BTR-60, the production of armor steel has advanced by leaps and bounds. If you conduct comparative ballistic tests, it would show an increase in the level of armor protection several times over.
As a result, the armored personnel carrier can now withstand not just shots from an automatic rifle, but even bursts from a heavy machine gun. In the conditions of our war, especially in urban combat where an ambush can be around every corner, the new specifications significantly increase the survival chances of our soldiers.
During the modernization process, modern technologies were used which allowed for the creation of ballistic protection without increasing the actual weight of the vehicle. The APC is protected around the perimeter from bullets of caliber 7.62 with a steel core, and the frontal armor can withstand machine gun bursts from a distance of up to 10 meters.
Friends, our soldiers need the PVS-14 night vision device, an important tool for defeating the enemy. The fundraising goal is 90,000 hryvnias. Support our heroes by scanning the QR code and making your contribution. Your help brings victory closer. The Ukrainian Design Bureau managed to improve the driving characteristics of the modernized APC. It has become much faster, more maneuverable, and more capable off-road than its predecessor. Two old gasoline engines with 90 horsepower each were replaced with a single diesel engine with 330 horsepower, which allowed for an increased range.
The reserve unit of consumable materials is about 500,000 kilometers.
And therefore open up additional opportunities for arranging the interior space.
They decided to redesign the armored vehicle in the most radical way, so that it would acquire qualities that the original machine did not have. They moved the engine compartment from the rear to the front right, and placed not two, but one engine there. That is, we installed one, but a modern one. And all the remaining Xi'an space was adapted for the troop compartment, which now became significantly more spacious and more conveniently organized.
We would add incomparably better. The metal box, which sometimes heats up to incredible temperatures in the sun and where it's impossible to stay warm in winter, no longer resembles a torture chamber from the USSR, but rather looks like a modern workspace of a Western soldier. Air conditioning, comfortable seats, and plenty of electronics allow soldiers to perform combat tasks much more comfortably, and therefore more effectively.
This APC has an autonomous generator, which allows the vehicle to function with the engine turned off. This is very significant in modern combat conditions. Traditionally, surveillance cameras and air conditioning systems are installed.
From the moment the task was set by our general staff, the designers decided not to turn the Khorunzhyi into a combat monster. The design of the APC's chassis simply does not allow it to be equipped with armor and heavy weaponry. Moreover, for these tasks, we already have the Ataman armored personnel carrier. Based on the Khorunzhyi, it was decided to create a so-called field shuttle, meaning a protected vehicle for auxiliary tasks. By the way, today engineers offer more than half a dozen modifications of this APC, depending on the specifics of the work.
The Khorunzhyi can make a good medevac, a good communication organization vehicle, possibly for artillery fire adjustments. So these are the types of vehicles. In principle, it can turn out to be a very decent logistics vehicle or a vehicle for transporting ammunition. A repair and evacuation variant is also an option for it.
However, the Khorunzhyi was not left unarmed. With 3 60-degree cameras, the crew is quite capable of repelling an attack on the equipment of a mobile combat group, or breaking through the battlefield while simultaneously destroying enemy positions.
In this regard, the Khorunzhyi offers, as they say, 3 solutions. You can either keep the original turret of the BTR-60. By the way, this is not as foolish a decision as it might seem at first glance, because it is quite good in its own way. Or you can install a turret that is a tower similar to the one on the Cossacks, or perhaps a module of caliber 12.7, 14.5, or a short-barreled 30, an automatic cannon of the 30x113 format.
In this way, any BTR-60 can be updated, of which there are still quite a few in Ukraine. Naturally, we will not disclose the details of the state order, the planned number of vehicles for modernization, and other strategic information. However, the fact that the Ministry of Defense has officially accepted the Khorunzhyi into the troops already indicates that the process of converting Ukrainian BTRs is a widespread story.
At the moment, we can say that codification has already taken place. This allows the purchase of these Khorunzhyi BTRs using state budget funds. I do not rule out that foreign investments will also be attracted accordingly. That is effectively co-investments in the Ukrainian military-industrial complex with the aim of producing the latest models of armored vehicles.
Did you like the video? Then don't forget to give it a like and subscribe to our new Arsenal channel. The link is in the description below the video.